The ABL heads to Ho Chi Minh in Saigon as the Heat tangle with the Westports Malaysia Dragons. The Heat are still within striking distance of getting to as high as number 5 in the ABL playoffs, and they look to take care of business against the Dragons that were recently eliminated from the playoffs. Joshua Munzon would do everything possible to keep his team finishing the season on a positive note, but take a look at that gorgeous drive there by Mikey Williams. And here the extra effort by none other than Akeem Scott, saving a possession in a bucket for the Heat. 2 minutes remaining. The big man Brian Davis twirling and swirling in the paint. The Heat would finish with a 6-point lead against the Dragons after 1. Maxi Esho would have a monster of a game as he would get the second serving to drop for his squad. But the Dragons refused to back down as Chris Everly knocking it down from long distance. David Arnold feeling it from beyond the arc. He would finish with 12 points on 4 triples before fouling out. And once again the passing inside by the Dragons as Davis finishing with a slam, but the Heat would still be up by 11 at the half. Great court vision from Williams, getting it over to Stefan Nguyen for that 2-pointer in the paint. Davis kicking out to Munzon as the Dragons would begin to claw their way back inside as Eversley would get the putback of that triple. Moses Morgan would miss this triple, but Esho flying from out of nowhere, making sure that the news would go to the Heat. The Dragons battling back. They would get a 3-point lead in the third, but check out this ball handling wizardly from Williams, getting it over to Scott. And once again, it was a dunk fest in the third as Esho and them boys from Saigon, they would take a 3-point lead into the fourth. And Akeem Scott just continuing to defy Father Time. But the Dragons were still in this, as you see here, this nice footwork from Kwek Ten Yen in the paint. But the Heat would take their time. They would have a 9-point lead, and Scott doing this over and over again. Dipsy-do shot after Dipsy-do. Kwek Tien once again probing and getting this tougher runner in the paint. The end one would fall for the big man of the Dragons. Scott on the run, beating 3 Dragons and muscling his way inside for the end one. Eversley would counter, but it was just a little bit too much heat as Esho, the booming slamma jamma. And this would be one of the highlights as Williams lobbing it over to Esho for the throwdown. And here, Mikey Williams saying, I got you 8 assists, it's time for my own. And finally, Esho with the signature play of this ball game, cocking it back and stuffing it home as the Heat stay within striking distance of the Singapore Slingers, setting up a grudge match in their final game of the ABL season.